Hello again, my beautiful watchers, and welcome back to the channel. I am Raven Shadow, and today I would like to share with you my love of world building. As you can see, I've been working on a lovely little map here, which is technically a world map, but I'm focusing right now on the one continent that I've bothered to put cities on so far. Please excuse my voice, I have been a little bit terrified lately of coming down with a sickness, because family members of mine have had some recently, and they informed me that it was absolutely terrible, but not COVID, so we're safe on that count. But yeah, I have been feeling, like, not nearly as sick as I would be afraid to say, but just like a little bit allergic. You might hear a slight difference in my voice. But yeah, so far I haven't come down with the actual really bad thing, which I'm starting to hope that I won't. This could just be allergies. Anyway, yes, I went into Clip Studio Assets. This thing here. If you're familiar with Clip Studio, you're almost certainly already familiar with this. I just went through and got a bunch of map brushes because I thought to myself, you know what, I bet somebody's already made a brush that just puts down trees or mountains or hills or something, so that I don't have to draw a million of those every time I want to make a map. And sure enough, people had! Okay, well this search did not turn up nearly as much as I was hoping for. What about mapping? And yes, you probably can hear some thunder in the background. Wow, how did I find anything? Okay. Mountain. Okay, filter, looking for brushes. Here's another one I got. I like this one. That's pretty cool. And I added these other subtool categories here, like trees. I want to add trees like that. I can just do it. Here's a forest. No more drawing every tree individually. Unfortunately, not every one of these brushes works so well. That one, I guess, was kind of okay. You just kind of gotta figure ways to make it not look like you did this. Because that's how you end up with forests like this, and I don't really like that. In fact, I dislike it enough that I think I'm going to erase some. Or basically all the ones on this continent. Yeah. Which I can do quickly and easily because I am using multiple layers. So I'll come back down here to the color layer, grab the green color, and get that little bit of blue that was hanging on there. As well as these. We could turn them into lakes, but I'm not going for that right now. You can see how this particular tool, the Evergreen Big Tree, looks like an orchard. But it's like planter's rows, which is not what we want. We want to look kind of random. This, the map tree, I think this one comes on its own, not as part of a pack. It is so maddening, because it'll put the tree down basically anywhere except where you're trying to. It's not a super great tree either. It's really... like, this is the type of tree that you draw when you are when you are drawing them individually. Which, that's fine. There's... maybe your map calls for that. Maybe you want that, which is great. Go ahead, sure, go for it. But for my purposes, it would be much nicer if it would just go where I put it. Some of these brushes are already filled, And like they're not translucent with they have a kind of white covering or coloring, a white coloring. Like these mountains. I have found that I am not the biggest fan of these mountains, but it occurred to me that there could be a really good use for that stuff, and that is on a continent like this one up here, where things are cold most of the year, or all of the year if you're far enough north. And like you could use this to indicate, yeah, there are trees here, but it's frequently covered in snow. I don't know, however, that willow trees grow that far north. Anyway, let's have some deciduous clusters. These cluster brushes are great in that they put more trees on at once, but they're terrible in that, okay, if you just streak across the canvas, they're looking kind of okay in terms of overlapping, but again, they're just in a row. You don't want them. In order to get the most out of them, you gotta put them down one at a time. That's looking much better. Okay, now back to the color layer. I was gonna use this, the cloud brush. And we're gonna make deserts. Honestly, for this continent, I probably should have used the brown first and then put green in around the rivers. Oh well, too late now. Okay, I'm gonna deselect the rivers. And instead, we're going to go onto the sketch layer. That's the one on which I drew the continental shorelines. We'll click out here, in the water. I'm going to invert the selection. We're going to get onto our blend tool. No. And back onto the color layer. Too plenty. Let's add these inland seas to the selection, as well as this bay. Who cares about this? Ain't nobody really worried about it. And now, we can, nope. Gotta invert the selection first, and then we can... No, we need to return to the color mode, the color layer, and we can just fill in all this stuff. This was just a practice map. I created this world entirely for the sake of practicing map making. As you can see, this center here, this river, is where I put most of my effort. I've used a lot of the different brushes that I downloaded to create, like roads and cities and borders. I haven't named any of these countries, though. Okay, this continent is looking pretty good. So maybe now we can actually start over. First, I'm going to save the file. export as a JPEG. Okie doke. And I'm gonna upload it to the Discord, and any of you guys that want to can download it and use it for whatever, if you want. Setting for your D&D campaign. It would be potentially great for that. Obviously, these other continents are not nearly so fleshed out as this one, but so if you want to do jack all with it, go for it. Now, we delete everything. Except longitude. We keep it. Roads. Control A. Delete. Borders. Delete. Fault lines, which I didn't show you, but I made fault lines. This fault line runs through part of this continent, under these mountains, and under this inland sea. So this area is... It's not just mountainous and rivery and fertile and lakey down here, but it's also prone to earthquakes. So yeah, gonna have a lot of fun times there. Delete. Forests. Also delete. Rivers. Delete. Mountains. Delete. Sketch. Delete. Color. Delete. Splash. Delete. This we keep for reference. Basically, I just downloaded this map of the real world, and the reason why I did that was because I wanted longitude and latitude lines, which I copied onto a vector layer. You can see where the lines are on the real map. I have copied them down. People make fun of this map for very good reason, because this is not actual size. If you want to see what these country's actual size really is, then you can go to a website called The Actual Size Of and drag them onto each other and see that you could fit a lot of Americas and even Canada's into Africa. However, in terms of portraying a round world on a flat surface, it's about the best we've got. For some reason, nobody is selling blank globes for world builders. I have looked. First thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the scale/rotate tool on the real world map, and I want to flip it vertical so that it's upside down. And then, yes. And then, of course, we have to do the same thing to longitude. Flip. And now we have a lovely little upside-down world. Because the world I want to create today has its continents a little more clustered toward the South Pole than toward the North. Another thing that you can do with this map if you find yourself lacking inspiration is to trace real geography and then distort it. However, we don't need that yet. We're gonna make it disappear. In fact, we're gonna make longitude disappear as well. And what I did was I put down full intensity, please. Here we go, yeah. I put down a big old blob, a big old splash, and then to depict the shifting of continents, I stretched it with the smudge tool. And that then became the continental shelf. However, while that was a somewhat good and useful method for last time, I actually want to try something different, so we're gonna make a new layer. This one's gonna be a vector layer. I'm gonna call this shelf. So that was garbage. Never mind. We're going with the splash method after all. Turns out I like that better. Splash, splash, splash. Okay. Here is our beginning, our origin point. We want to spread this one continent all over the place. Make it into multiple land masses. We are not just pulling the continent out, we are also pulling the sea in. Oh, this is gonna look way more like real-world geography than I want it to. That's what humans are used to. Of course it's gonna look a bit like that. Just kind of these swirling type of motions to symbolize a spinning phenomenon, which creates a sort of rounded edge where the motion is heading, and a trail of islands where it has been. That's what I'm doing. You don't have to. If you come up with something that works better, do what works for you. Duh. It's art. That's how art works. My spins are going clockwise. Maybe this one goes counterclockwise. Oh, this one's starting to look like a mammoth. Cool. Yeah, these would all be absolutely enormous. We need to downsize a little. We can have a reconnection between these two. Maybe there's a full-on land bridge, maybe there just used to be and now there's islands, like the Bering Strait. This is looking way too much like North and South America. Okay, this does not look like South America. This does look like North America. See, this is Florida, you got Cuba down here, and then Mexico. I need to spin this some more. Round and round she goes, and where she stops, hopefully not America. I'm going to split this continent up here into two continents. And this small one is going to keep spinning counterclockwise, while this continent changes direction and starts spinning clockwise. It may be that the clockwise motion of our cursor actually represents a counterclockwise rotation of the continents, which, I guess I'd be okay with. Oh, I went clockwise with that. Darken this up just so we don't lose it. Back to smudging. Well, we basically lost everything I just put back on there.
kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay.
Enter Blammo. Reconnect. Like you never thought you would. That looks even more North American. It keeps getting more so.
I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man. All your music and arrangement. You don't know shit. Shut your mouth. You can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes. Positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate for taking control of your life. Go out and battle, and you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future. We all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer.
Hey, there is no reason to spend as much time on it as I just did. Maybe I need better methods. Anyway, now we can finally move on to these ones. This is looking too consistently swirly, but I need to break things up. Okay, well this landmass that's in the general part of the map, the same general part of the map as Australia, is looking a little too Australia-like. There might be a little too much landmass on here. Nope, that looks like Florida. Gotta take in some coast. That's starting to look good. Yeah, we've got some stuff going here. Let's go back to the real-world map layer and flip that back over so we can compare land masses. Yes. And now these continents look quite large. We could in fact stand to make them even smaller a little bit. Well, okay, I say continents. That's not... This is the continental shelf. So the continents themselves will actually probably be a fair bit smaller. So pretty good start to our fantasy map from scratch. I've been recording for quite a while now. I'd say about 2 hours. I'm gonna leave off and hopefully go through some more of the process later. But if nothing else, hopefully this inspires you to get started. And who knows, at the end, maybe, if we still want more, we'll create a mod in Medieval 2 for one of these continents, or more. That could be fun, don't you think? Please like, please subscribe, and please tell me in the comments, A, if you want more, and B, ideas you have for making this better, or techniques you've seen other people use that will help out more. I'll see more of you soon. Until then, draw well, I guess? Paint well? This is bugging me. There. Paint well.